Hey man, what in the hell is this? Does the Jones family think that the fan base is full of a bunch of backwoods redneck hillbillies? Do they think that we have no clue what the hell is going on? Do they think that we all live in Amish times and don't have the damn internet and Google readily available to us to see what actually is the situation with these contract disputes and what they're actually trying to do when they use guys like David Moore of the Dallas Morning News to try and convince the fans to swoon Dak Prescott and other players by using the court of public opinion in a direction that's favorable for the Jones family? I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this very loud and clear so the person way back there in the back can hear. How much these guys are making and their contract negotiations should have no bearing on how fans feel about these players. Any other time, it's a business until it comes from the employee trying to get more money or the money that they deserve from their bosses. When you have a guy coming off of an all-pro season, leading and carrying your team, that quite honestly, he shouldn't even be in a position to do that because his team was supposed to be built around the defense. This team was supposed to have a strong running game to rely on. This guy had an all-pro season, his probably best season of his career. And because he couldn't do the thing that no other quarterback in the NFL was asked to do at any time during this playoffs, which was single-handedly carry their team to a Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes didn't do it. Brock Purdy didn't do it. Jared Goff didn't do it. Lamar Jackson didn't do it. Josh Allen didn't do it. None of these guys did it. None of these guys had any sort of success without having a viable run game, without having a defense that could stop a nosebleed, and without having sound and efficient play calling. But after the season that this dude just had, the Jones family truly believes that in the year 2024, when people have platforms with the invention of new media, and we don't have to sit here and listen to these old crusties perpetuate these narratives that their owners are hand-feeding them for the purpose of inciting a riot against a player to have the court of public opinion on their side. The Joneses think that this is still going to work. Let's take a look at this BS article that David Moore, one of the Jones family's hand-picked Pied Pipers, put out in an attempt to lead all the ignorant and sheepish fans down the road of rage, straight to the doorstep of Dak Prescott to tell him how much he isn't worth exactly what he's worth. And not only do that, but also put out a bunch of misinformation and smokescreen in the process. Paid $1 for access to this article. I'm damn sure about to make that $1 back. So you can see here one of the biggest graphics you'll see when you open this article that you have to pay $1 to access, like I said, is it shows the Cowboys 2024 salary cap hits. Number one on this list, Rain Dakota Prescott at almost $60 million. Almost double the next man, which is Zach Martin, right? Looks crazy, looks insane. This looks unfathomable that he would be making this much more money than the next man. He would count against the cap this much more. It looks that way unless you actually know what the hell is going on with the salary cap. It's very, very easy to go and look at some websites, follow people like Martin Talk Cowboys on X that break down the salary cap very, very well, or use your resources, use some of these tools. I use some all the time when I'm looking at free agents and stuff like that, sports track and all that stuff. It's very easy to see that if the Cowboys were to actually do right by Dak Prescott for once in his career, if they were to do right by him for once in his career, man, instead of trying to use us, people that have our own stuff to worry about, bro. We got our own families and houses to feed. But the Jones family wants us to be a part of this circus, bro. They want us to give a damn and to try to be a tool of war, a weapon of war against these players and try to use the court of public opinion so everyone can pile on the players and put external pressure on the players to take a hometown discount. Stephen Jones thinks that this is the way to go about business. I'm telling y'all, this is Stephen Jones right here. Stephen and Jerry. But for once in his life, if they were to actually pay this man, not make it a big deal, like it wasn't for Joe Burrow, like it wasn't for Justin Herbert, like it wasn't for multiple other guys, Daniel Jones, like it wasn't for Deshaun Watson, like it wasn't for so many other guys, Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts. If they just paid him, that would bring his cap hit down substantially. It would literally cut it in half, his cap hit, if they were to actually take care of him. But yet, again, one of the dudes that get to ask questions first at all the press conferences and stuff like this, this article is coming from the Joneses, make no mistake about it. He puts out this misleading article showing this large cap hit and showing how he would have the second largest salary cap hit in the NFL behind Deshaun Watson and ahead of Patrick Mahomes and dressing it up to make us hate Dak Prescott. Like, hey, who do you think you are? You don't deserve that. You don't have 3 championships like Mahomes. That's what they want us to do, bro. Until you realize that's if they just let this man go on another lame duck year, which no other team is doing to their franchise QB. And look, regardless of how you feel about Dak, he's better than 92% of the other options at the position, whether it be via draft or via free agency or via trade. Dak Prescott, whether you like it or not, whether you like him or not, he is better than at least, at minimum, 25 other quarterbacks in the league. The results show it, his resume show it, the film shows it. His understanding and his mastery of the position. For people to just understand the sport, they see it, they know it. So the Joneses, if y'all want this dude to take this huge pay cut and not get the money that he is due, like every other player does when they come up into this position, no one blinked an eye when Joe Burrow got more money than Patrick Mahomes, and this dude has been hurt for the same amount of time that he's played on the field. He's been hurt. His defense carried him to a Super Bowl and he had a good showing and everyone forgot about it. Everyone forgot about how average he was on that Super Bowl run with the Bengals. And what has he done since? He hasn't won. Josh Allen hasn't won. Jalen Hurts hasn't won. These guys haven't won. Jalen Hurts had one good season. No one blinked an eye. No one said anything about him getting $50 million. Now it's Dak Prescott's turn. Now it's his time to come up again. After the last time he was in this situation. Y'all don't remember what happened last time, huh? Y'all don't remember that last time he was due a contract, he got tagged? His owner told him to his face in the press conference he overpaid for him. The Cowboys had the 5th highest amount of salary cap in the entire NFL. The 5th highest amount of salary cap in the entire NFL 2020 when Dak signed his contract last time, right? You see that, right? 5th highest salary cap. What did they do with that salary cap, y'all? Do y'all remember? Do y'all remember? Let me refresh your memory. Thank you, Martin Talk. Dak Prescott, $33 million franchise tag. Would have probably been cheaper if they just extended him. Signed defensive tackle Gerald McCoy to a 3-year contract. Y'all remember how that went? It didn't. Signed kicker Greg Zuerlein, cornerback Maurice Kennedy, and cornerback CJ Goodwin to contracts. Y'all remember how those went? They did it! Agreed to terms with defensive tackle Dontari Poe. You remember how that went? It didn't! Agreed to terms with kicker Greg Zuerlein. Re-signed safety Darian Thompson to a 2-year contract. How's Darian doing? We don't know. Re-signed wide receiver Amari Cooper to a 5-year contract. To then do what? Trade him for a Snickers. Assigned the franchise tag to Dak Prescott and then re-signed tight end Blake Jarwin to a 3-year contract. Where's Blake Jarwin now? We don't know. Signed HaHa Clinton Dix. Where's HaHa Clinton Dix now? They had the 5th most salary cap space this offseason, and this is the front office y'all are trusting to make this man take a hometown discount, as we as fans are going to fight on their behalf to get him to take a hometown discount so we can make these types of signings, so they can save salary cap space and do this. Is that what we're saying? No. It's none of our business. We have real lives to worry about. Fans have allowed the media and these front offices, because, trust and believe, y'all don't think that these media members are incentivized to put out different things that the front offices of these teams want them to put out, so that way they have that bond, that connection. They have that network to tap into when they need information, when they are trying to figure out what's going on. Where do y'all think all these unnamed sources and stuff come from? Stuff like this. I do you a favor, you do me a favor. You put out this article. You put out this. You say this. ESPN, run this story for me. Yeah, I'll give you some nuggets of information here and there. Just run this story for me when I need you to. Are y'all serious, bro? If y'all listen hard enough, we've been told by plenty of players. Dez Bryant just recently went off about this not too long ago. Don't let the media convince you it's any of our business. That is the job of the general manager. That is the point of a general manager, is to handle these contracts and make the money work, to keep the players you want, and to get new players in if you don't want players that you don't want to pay for. That's the GM's job. Do not let the Joneses use you. Do not let the Joneses use you. Why do you care how much money this man is making, how much money Micah's making, how much money CD is making? That has no impact on how you root for your team. That has no impact on your day-to-day life. That is literally the purpose of having a good GM, is so they can handle this without having to do this. I'm completely over the Jones family BS, y'all. I'm just completely over it. I am completely over it. This is one of the reasons why I had to make my platform. It's because I know as fans, we get so many different media messages and just so many different storylines and narratives thrown at us that you don't know the real. You don't know what to actually believe. Here's what to believe. Here is the real. These dudes' contracts ain't our business as fans. That's the job of the front office. At no point ever rooting it for teams and for sports should we give a damn about how the front office does what they do. At no point. Either you want Dak Prescott and you're going to pay him what you would have to pay a quarterback, any quarterback in his position, coming off of the season he just had. That's already been disrespected the amount of times they've been disrespected. Either you're going to pay that guy, or you're going to get a Ryan Tannehill, or you're going to draft a rookie. But what we don't need is y'all, when you have been some of the most inept owners, some of the most distracting owners, one of the most poorly ran organizations for the last 30 years, from a stability standpoint. And that's what you have been. And y'all got the nerve to try to want to continuously use the fans, to continuously use not only the fans, but the fans' anger and their emotions for your benefit, to your benefit. This ain't about whether you want Dak here or not. It's about as fans understanding if we want things to change with this team, supporting nonsense like this, falling into nonsense like this, it's part of the problem. It's part of the problem. Jerry, we don't want anything that you want because we see all you want is attention and clicks and storylines to be ran about your team. It doesn't matter if it's at the expense of your players. It doesn't matter if it's at the expense of guys that have had your old ass back at times they shouldn't have had your old decrepit ass back. I'm not fighting this battle for them. I'm not fighting any battle on behalf of the Joneses. We don't see Clark Hunt. We don't see these other owners that run respectable organizations. We don't hear from them. You know what owners we do hear from? Jerry and Jim Irsay. That's the company we keep. I'm not playing these games, bro. Not playing these games.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.